That's all the red I could find. Servus Freunde, my name is Jimmy Cage, and my favorite movie experiences are the ones where I'm so invested and amped up at the end of a movie that I can barely hold back tears and sometimes break out in spontaneous applause. Usually it happens with stories that are about some kind of injustice, some kind of oppression, and then a form of full-hearted resistance. If done right, such narratives always have a very emotional and cathartic power. A new movie that affected me in such a way this year was the Tamil film Karnan, and this one was also able to do it. Mirch Masala, also known as A Touch of Spice, is a 1987 Hindi drama that was co-written and directed by Ketan Mehta. It won the National Film Award for Best Feature Film in Hindi as well as Best Supporting Actor for Suresh Oberoi. It is set in colonial India in the early 1940s, and it tells a story about a conflict between an arrogant, abusive Subedar, which is a kind of local tax collector, played by Naseeruddin Shah, and the people of a small village. Specifically, the young woman Sonbai, played by Smita Patil, who declines the Subedar's advances. The Subedar doesn't just camp outside the village to collect taxes, he also loves to exercise his authority over other people, and that includes that he likes to just take a woman if he wants to. I think Mirch Masala is a fantastic film, and if I would have to break down its strong points with a few words, I would say setting, colors and performances. From the beginning you get immersed into this very distinct period setting. The barren landscapes, the huge piles of red chilies, the simplicity of the basic character constellations, with the Subedar as our clear antagonist on one side and the villagers and especially women, who are also dressed completely in red, on the other. Mirch Masala is a film that has a very strong visual appeal. The cinematography, the compositions and especially the colors and contrast. It looks striking, and I was so happy that this movie is available in great quality on Mubi. The cinematography was done by Jehangir Chaudhary, and equally important and noteworthy is the editing by Sanjeev Shah. Director Ketan Mehta has a very firm grip on the story and knows how to tell it in a very visual and effective way. At the same time, it's not even that much story driven for a long time, and the crucial moment that sets everything in motion for the rest of the film, which is Sonbai slapping the Subedar, isn't even happening until about an hour into it. The first hour is used to immerse us into this world, introduce us to the life in the village and its many different characters. Apart from Naseeruddin Shah, it very much feels like an ensemble piece. There's the Mukhi, which is the head of a community, played by Suresh Oberoi, his wife Saraswati, played by Deepti Nawal, who wants her daughter to attend school, which is of course unheard and frowned upon. Then there's the open-minded schoolmaster, played by Benjamin Gilani, who also seems to be the only literate person in the village. There are still more characters, and it wasn't always easy to keep track of everybody. On one hand, I think that they all add to the film's texture. They make this village feel real, and they also of course establish the themes, but on the other hand, some of them are also dropped a bit too much in the second half and not really woven into the narrative that strongly. But this really doesn't harm the overall film too much. There are so many great moments and aspects, like an early scene in which the Subedar is showing off his gramophone, an invention the villagers have never witnessed before, or a village dance which is staged and captured beautifully with very rapid editing, or the many fantastic performances, especially by Naseeruddin Shah, Smita Patil and Om Puri. Next to Monsoon Wedding, this is my second favorite performance of Naseeruddin Shah. He's so great as this tyrant, a character that you truly love to hate. It's almost kind of fun to see how much he enjoys himself and his power. And on the other side we have Smita Patil as the strong woman who doesn't tolerate his abuse. Smita Patil is regarded as one of the greatest actresses in Indian cinema, but unfortunately she was only 31 when she passed away because of complications after childbirth. She died before the film was released. Mirch Masala is set in colonial times, but I think it's actually much more about gender relations, which also shows in the many other smaller and bigger conflicts in the village. There are very powerful moments, for example when Saraswati mobilizes the other women to help, when she is standing up to her powerful husband, and then later when she is locked up and smashing something against the window to show her protest. Because of these themes and because of the desert setting and the strong colors, Mirch Masala also reminded me of the powerful Gujarati film Hilero. And speaking about the setting, I really can't emphasize enough how much I love the visual motif of these red chilies and also the western vibe this movie has. Once Sonbai flees from the Subedar, she takes shelter in what the village calls the factory, which is the place where most of the women work to make powder out of the red chilies. It's a place with many women and only one man, the older Muslim watchman Abu Mia, played by Ompuri. He really gets to shine in the second half, and the movie very much becomes like this western standoff, with the women and Abu Mia in this little fortress-like place, and the Subedar, his men as well as the villagers on the outside. I really thoroughly enjoyed this film, and like I said at the beginning, the ending had me in tears and applauding. It's such a great finale. It's one of those very abrupt endings, but in that it has a very powerful closing punch. So in German I'd say, Mirch Masala ist ein wirklich starkes und visuell total faszinierendes und immersives Werk, das durch sein tolles Setting, die markante Farbdramaturgie und die eindrucksvollen Schauspielleistungen richtig punktet. I give Mirch Masala 8 out of 10. It's more like 8.4. But I don't do that. Alright, that's it like always. Comment below and let me know what you think about Mirch Masala. And also, what is your favorite film with Smita Patil? You can hit me up on Twitter, Instagram and Letterboxd, and also on Patreon simply at The Jimmy Cage. And if you enjoyed this episode, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like. And make sure you hit that bell for all I have to tell.